Hi, it's Kevin May, the Editor-in-Chief of PhocusWire. I'm joined here by Phil Kennard. You're the CEO of Futurestay and the co-founder of Futurestay. Thanks for joining us here in the PhocusWire studio.
Thanks for having me,
Okay, so it says here you connect vacation rentals to everything.
Yes.
Just describe to me very, very briefly what everything is. And don't say, well, it's everything.
Sure, so we like to think of it as everything that matters to them.
Right.
And so that means channels like Airbnb, Booking.com, HomeAway, and more, industry-leading channels. It means to guests via automated communications, emails, SMSs. It means to payments and transactions, and not just the initial credit card run that we typically think of for a vacation rental or travel booking, but all the different ancillary payments that can follow, such as refunds, cancellations, and even OTA commissions. And it also means to their own website and brand via an automatically generated Futurestay website or booking engine.
Okay. What if they don't want to be connected to everything? That seems like a logical thing for them to want, though. It's great that they can be connected to everything, but what if they don't want to?
Right, and I think that's a great question, and it's a very fair question. So the vacation rental industry has evolved significantly in the past decade, and one of the major contentions in the early 2010s was, do we want to be instant bookable, or do we want to screen tenants?
It seems amazing that those are the questions going on now, given that that's seen as to be the thing that you have to be able to be.
If you want to connect to global demand, then you definitely have to be instant bookable and you need to be connected in real time. However, there are people that run really successful vacation rental businesses in certain markets where there's a lot of repeat customers, or maybe very, very high-end properties where they don't really want to be connected to everything and they're using kind of corporate travel or business travel or exclusive clientele. It's a shrinking segment of the market. So the real answer is, should they be connected to everything? Yes, they may want to connect differently to different channels. They may want to have different availability in different channels, kind of like hotels sometimes do. But they should be connected to everything that matters.
Okay. And then it gets a little bit not controversial as such, but problematic potentially if they say, well, if I'm connected to Booking,
right,
I want this type of inventory and pricing available. If
right.
I'm going to be on Airbnb, if I'm going to be home and away.
Yeah, that's where you start getting into the weeds, right? And so Parity doesn't really exist, or it's not enforced very strongly in the vacation rental industry.
Should it?
I think it's impossible at this stage in our industry for it to be really enforced, because connectivity is so loosely defined in our industry, and there's such a really a dearth of real infrastructure in vacation rentals. When you compare it to hotels, where you have switches and GDSs that built essentially the e-commerce platforms where travelers book, our industry is the exact opposite, where smart people came up with ideas for e-commerce platforms and said, oh, wait a second, we should probably get a few million vacation rentals. And so things aren't connected or wired up in such a way that you can really enforce parity other than just kind of threatening people.
Do you see that changing over time because the market or competition authorities or customers will lead us to a point where that becomes an issue and that needs to be solved?
I think,
and if it does,
yes.
Sorry, just the follow-up question already is, who should be the one to do that?
So I think there's so many market forces right now, commercial market forces around meta search in vacations and otherwise, vacation rentals and otherwise, and also a lot to push back around parity in hotels, that it's unlikely to see our industry moving in that direction. I think you'll see more likely the hotel industry starting to move a little bit away from parity. I think also it's very, very, very clear already, hotels, individual hotel owners and operators want more control over their customer. They want more control over their pricing, and they're trying to wrestle that control directly back from OTAs. You're going to see that coming down the pipe in the vacation rental industry as well. There's just no doubt about it.
Okay. What does that mean for you? Probably nothing, does it, as a business, if it happens?
So it means that they want more control, and we help give them control.
Right.
The way our business is positioned, it works very well, kind of no matter how the industry shifts around, because our customer is the property manager. We make their lives easier, and we connect them to, as I said earlier, everything that matters. Everything can change. Right now, it may be a channel like Airbnb or HomeAway. In a few weeks or months, it could be a new disintermediator of a booking channel, or it could be a direct website. Maybe it's Alexa 4 years from now. We can still connect them to everything that matters.
Okay. Do you think about, we've just been talking about it on another show here earlier, do you think Amazon
Yes.
is something that the industry, and in particular vacation rentals, should be thinking about?
Amazon has had very limited success in travel. I think that Amazon has a very, very strong play for next generation media, which is voice. And whoever controls voice and figures out how to get that booking path to work well will have to enter travel. Amazon is obviously they're going to play that hand. Mm-hmm. We need there's a significant distinction, I think, around text search, web search, a phone search, and a voice search. And the reason why is because, my understanding of it is that voice search is much more intent driven, mm-hmm. meaning it's not discovery, right? Like, we're not going to sit down with Siri or Alexa and say, Alexa, tell me about all the wonderful things I can do in Denmark, right? That's not how you want to discover Denmark. But if you do need a flight to be booked, especially the more fungible the thing can be, such as transportation, maybe not accommodations, might be a good direction to have Alexa help you out. Okay,
and just a bit about Futurestay. I mean, this has happened in the past on the hotel side. Booking.com bought up a load of software providers that did things to help hotels to create Booking Suite, and things have been slightly different with Booking Suite on the back of that. Do you think they would do the same with rental service software providers? And if they do, and you weren't one of the ones that was acquired by Booking.com, what would that mean for you?
So I think that there's always going to be increasing volume of vacation rental supply. I think it's pretty clear that the average property manager is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Mm-hmm. And so what that means is you're always going to need new and different ways to connect to channels. Any single channel having a dedicated solution, kind of like you've seen with Booking Suite, it doesn't prevent that channel from working with other players.
Yeah.
I think it just depends on who's better at acquiring the customer, who has the strongest go-to-market, and who can drive the most value. I do think there is a way to have a relationship with a channel, a conventional OTA channel or vacation rental channel, that does drive value equally across the value chain, meaning the supplier, the actual supply itself, and the demand channel. We haven't necessarily seen that work out very well in the past, but it's possible that it could happen.
Okay, Phil Kennard, thanks for joining us. Thank you very much.
Great. Thanks for having us.